welcome back to PM Software and AI Agents by PM Software. I'm Connor and I'm here with my co-host John. Today we're diving into something that I think every project manager and professional can relate to, how to actually enhance your work performance in 2025. John, I just read this fascinating piece from our team at Project Management Software AO about 10 proven strategies, and honestly, some of these completely challenged conventional wisdom and provided insight that...
Thanks, Connor, and welcome, everyone. You're absolutely right. This topic is more relevant than ever. What really caught my attention is how the traditional approaches we've been taught about productivity might actually be holding us back. The article starts with something that completely flips the script on time management. Connor, what was your take on that first strategy?
Oh, you mean prioritizing energy management over time management? That was a game changer for me. I've always been obsessed with scheduling every minute, but this approach suggests we should align our high energy periods with our most challenging tasks instead. John, you've worked with teams across different time zones. How do you see this playing out in practice?
It's fascinating, Connor. I've noticed that some of my best project managers intuitively do this already. They'll tackle complex stakeholder negotiations or critical decision-making when they're naturally most alert, often early morning or right after lunch for many people. The article mentions tracking your energy patterns throughout the day, which is something I always recommend to new PMs.
That makes sense. So instead of forcing ourselves to work on difficult tasks at arbitrary times, we're working with our natural rhythms. But what about when deadlines don't align with our energy peaks?
Great question. That's where the next strategy comes in, enhancing your to-do list techniques. The article talks about the Eisenhower box, which categorizes tasks into 4 quadrants based on urgency and importance. This way, you can still meet deadlines while optimizing for energy where possible.
Right. And they mentioned breaking down larger tasks into smaller manageable steps. I've seen this work wonders with complex projects. John, what's your experience with this approach?
Absolutely crucial, especially in project management. When you're dealing with something like implementing a new software system across multiple departments, it can feel overwhelming. But if you break it down, stakeholder interviews, requirements gathering, vendor evaluation, pilot testing, suddenly it becomes a series of achievable milestones. It's that sense of progress that keeps momentum going.
That psychological aspect is huge. Speaking of psychology, the article has some strong words about distractions. They call them productivity's worst enemy. In our AI-driven world with constant notifications, how realistic is it to actually eliminate distractions?
It's challenging, but the strategies they outline are really practical. Time blocking is something I swear by. Those dedicated work periods where you minimize interruptions. The article mentions using technology like website blockers and notification controls, which might seem counterintuitive, but using tech to fight tech actually works.
Okay. And then there's the whole multitasking myth. The article's pretty blunt about this. They say their research consistently shows it leads to poor quality outcomes and longer completion times. John, I know you're a big advocate for single GAC focus.
Connor, this is where I see the biggest difference between high-performing teams and struggling ones. The article mentions the Pomodoro technique, 25 minutes of focused work followed by a 5-minute break. But beyond just the technique, it's about that deeper engagement you get when you're not constantly switching gears.
The mental strain of task snipping is real. What about the concept of task batching? The article suggests grouping similar tasks together.
This is pure gold for project managers. Instead of checking emails throughout the day, designate specific times, maybe 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 4 p.m. Same with phone calls, status updates, or creative work. When you group similar tasks, you're not constantly rebooting your brain for different types of thinking.
That makes perfect sense. Now, the article takes an interesting turn toward healthy habits. They call them the cornerstone of sustained productivity. And this isn't just about work techniques anymore. We're talking about lifestyle.
Exactly. And this is where many productivity guides fall short. They focus on tactics, but ignore the foundation. The article emphasizes regular exercise, balanced diet, adequate sleep. These directly affect cognitive function and energy levels. I've worked with project managers who optimize every process but run on 3 hours of sleep and coffee. It's not sustainable.
The mental health aspect is important too, mindfulness and stress management techniques. John, how do you see this fitting into a busy project manager's day?
And it doesn't have to be elaborate. The article mentions small changes like taking the stairs or having a nutritious snack. For mindfulness, even 2 minutes of focused breathing between meetings can reset your mental state. It's about building these micro habits throughout the day.
Which brings us to something that might surprise people, the importance of regular breaks. The article actually says taking breaks can drastically improve work performance.
Okay, this goes against the hustle culture mentality, but the research is clear. They mention the 52-17 rule, not work for 52 minutes, rest for 17. During those breaks, doing something different from your work, walking, stretching, meditating, actually recharges your cognitive resources.
Yeah, it's counterintuitive, but it makes sense. What about workspace optimization? The article says it goes beyond aesthetics and significantly impacts concentration and productivity.
Connor, I've seen transformations just from helping someone organize their workspace. The article emphasizes being clutter-free, but also personalizing with inspiring elements, plants, art, motivational quotes, and ergonomics can't be overlooked. If you're uncomfortable, you're distracted.
Dance 2, they also talk about periodically altering your environment, working from new locations, rearranging office space, outdoor units. John, with remote work being so prevalent, how do you see this playing out?
This is brilliant for remote workers especially. Maybe it's working from a coffee shop on Wednesdays or just moving from your desk to your kitchen table for certain tasks. The article mentions it stimulates creativity and provides fresh perspectives. I've had breakthrough moments just by changing my scenery.
And finally, they address something that hits close to home for many of us, perfectionism. The article says to release the need for perfection and embrace done is better than perfect.
This is crucial, especially in project management, where you're constantly balancing scope, time, and quality. The article mentions that perfectionism leads to procrastination and stress. I've seen projects stall because someone couldn't ship something that was 95% perfect, waiting for that elusive 100%.
It's about continuous improvement rather than unattainable perfection. The shift from perfection to progress can be transformative. John, as we wrap up, what do you think is the most actionable takeaway from all these strategies?
I'd say start with energy management and single tack focus. Those two changes alone can dramatically improve your day-to-day experience. Pick one energy pattern to track for a week and try one focused work session using the Pomodoro technique. Small steps, but powerful impact.
Absolutely. And remember, this isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. The article emphasizes that by integrating these strategies, you can achieve significant productivity boosts while actually reducing stress and burnout.
The key insight from the article is that workplace productivity in 2025 requires a holistic approach. It's not just about task management tools or scheduling techniques. It's about aligning your work style with your natural rhythms, creating supportive environments, and maintaining your physical and mental well-being.
For our listeners who want to dive deeper into these strategies, you can find the complete article and additional resources at projectmanagementsoftware.oi. And we've got tons of content on productivity enhancement, project management techniques, and emerging AI tools that can support these approaches.
Well, thanks to everyone for joining us today. Remember, productivity isn't a destination. It's an ongoing journey of optimization and adaptation. Try implementing one or two of these strategies this week and see how they work for your specific situation.
Exactly. And if you found today's discussion valuable, please subscribe to PM Software and AI Agents wherever you get your podcasts. We're constantly exploring how technology and proven methodologies can help project managers and professionals excel in their work. Until next time, I'm Connor.
And I'm John. Keep optimizing, and we'll see you in the next episode.